Everybody stop trying to stab me so I can slowly explore this town and meet everyone that counts, which is like 20% of you. Everyone else isn't a real person, apparently. This old woman stands silently by the wall, staring off into the distance. She seems unconcerned with the flow of traffic around her, and clutches a wooden pole from which dozens of small fish are dangling. Greetings. Oh. Hello, sir? She squints at you for a moment, trying to discern your identity. Oh, my. Here I was thinking you was one of me regular customers. She proffers her fish pole. Tuna, sir? Mackerel? Sea cucumber? No fish, thanks. I had some questions. Her mouth presses down into a tight-lipped frown and she stares off over your shoulder. It seems like a con to get pickpocketed, like always. Look behind you, see what she's staring at. You can see nothing of interest behind you. As you turn back to where you catch her looking at you, she looks away quickly, resuming her staring off into the distance once more. What? Do I look familiar to you? Goodness, no. She pauses for a moment. Aye, you do. Have you seen me before, then? I think... yeah. Or a man with your very likeness, sir. 'Twas so long ago. Tell me. Well, sir, you see, me sight's not so good now. 'Twasn't back then neither, but I thought I saw you walking past with a small group trailing along behind you. What did these people look like? It's hard to say, sir. 'Twas so long ago, and you walked by so quick-like, but I remember now, the way you held your head up. There was a woman following you, trying to stop you, to get you to turn around, speak to her, but you pushed her away. What happened then? Beautiful woman she was, looked so sad, so angry, all at once. She stood there a moment, then followed along behind you just the same, hustling to catch up. You had said there was a group. Who else was there? She shrugs. There was at least 2 other gentlemen with you, sir. The other one I remember too clearly, though he was tall, thin, reeked of bub, he did. I smelled him from across the way. Looked like he hadn't bathed in ages, too. He followed you close, he did, and never said a word. Acted like the woman wasn't even there, even when she bumped against him, trying to stop you. That's all I remember, sir. Give her some copper for her time. 10 coins. Oh, my! Why, thank you, sir, most kindly. May the lady's shadow pass you over. Thanks. Farewell. Well, that's potentially useful. The question is, was that the last life? Was that the same woman that's dead in the that we talked to before, or is that another life? Like, how many lives have there been? This looks like an entrance, but there's no handle or means of opening it. How much history does this guy have if he doesn't die? Could be comical. Iron Knolls. There you go. This broad-shouldered woman is shuffling about amongst the huge beams lying on the street. She kicks at the beams with iron-shod boots. Every once in a while she bends down and wrenches a nail from one of the boards with her bare hands. She holds each one up. Someone, apparently I'm in combat again, appraising it, then drops it into the leather sling bag. Greetings. She straightens up, hearing you approach. She's smiling politely, but from her stance and the way her hand rests close to the hilt of her weapon, you can tell she's ready for trouble. You notice one of her eyes has a milky film over it. That's close enough for there, Cutter. What do you need from me? I had some questions. She nods. Ask away, then. Who are you? She pulls 3 nails from her sling bag, tossing them spinning into the air, then catching them in her palm. Iron nails, they call me. She drops them back into the bag with a muffled clink. Why are you collecting the nails? I sell them to a man. Name of Hammers in the lower ward. Maker of coffins he is. Tell me more about Hammers. It's not much to say. He's a bit chatty. He'll rattle his bone box till you're barmy, if you let him. But a fair bargainer. He needs the nails, I need the jink, and that's about as far as it goes. Does anyone else here scavenge nails? She grins and shakes her head. No one was clever enough or had the will to do it before me, and I've shoved off anyone who's tried to jump me claim since. She pats the long-bladed dagger hanging at her side. Your claim? Aye, that's what I call it. Honest labor's hard to come by in the hive, and I'm not about to let some sodden piker peel me off my own work. I've seen more than one Burke running and howling, holding their guts in. I've sent more than one. Or off to the collectors if they were unlucky. Her dead eye gleams maliciously. The hive knows this spot is Iron Knolls, it does? Is that how your eye was ruined? Knolls' face turns hard. None of your business, Burke. Why? Would you like a match and wound for your collection? No, that particular one's not quite me. She laughs heartily. Aye, and I don't think you have much room for another scar besides. I had some other questions. Wow, we dispelled the situation with humor. She probably would still kill me if she could. Or if I prompted her to. I was told to ask a woman named Knolls, whom I'd find around here rooting around a pile of lumber, about the trash-filled archway in Ragpicker Square. Can you help me?
Updated my journal.
Knolls nods slowly. It's a portal, you know. Stumbled on it quite by chance, I did. All you need to do is have a handful of junk on you when she walks up to it, and you'll be able to pass right through. There's a small open space past the portal, and a gate leading underground, but I figured no sense in asking for trouble, so I just turned around and went right back here. Here, she hands you a handful of junk. Use this if you likes. I was gonna toss it away anyhow. Thanks. Farewell. What's happening? Ah!
Damn it.
How dare you? She's doing a weird... I thought she was in combat. I was worried. I'm like, oh no, are we fighting? Because she like ducked weirdly.
Did you see that?
You were all much worse at combat than I am. You should stop attacking me. At least some of you live to tell the tale, but you're not doing a very good job of it. Well, you're quickly paying my be nice to old people bills by just constantly giving me more. I guess there's that. She seems neat. Just don't try to sell nails in her neighborhood, and you'll get along just fine. The wooden slats of these boxes are warped, allowing you to see inside. The boxes hold rotting sacks of grain. It's not very appealing. This place looks... Oh, this place is dense with characters. This man is looking at you with a strange, bug-eyed stare. His eyes are huge. So huge they look ready to pop off his sockets and roll across the cobblestones. He nods eagerly as you approach, bobbing his head like a bird. And as you near him, you suddenly notice the smell of urine and feces surrounding him. Greetings. The man sniffles, wiping his nose on his sleeve, then opens his mouth to reveal blackened, rotted gums. Stories for coin, sirrah. His breath reeks. It smells like this man has been keeping rotten meat stored inside his mouth. Stories for coin. Who are you? The man snorts, thick with phlegm. Names. Names. Who you are. who you are. His head does a slight twitch every time he repeats himself. Names. Dangerous. Dangerous. He glances at the ground and stirs the dirt with his foot. Dangerous. Knowing a name or being stuck with one, both's a mess of trouble. He looks back up at you. My name's a given name, not one asked for. Reekwind. His name is based around his bad breath. Great. People have very descriptive names in this universe. I guess it's easier than remembering everyone's name. Like, this guy's named Charlie. Cool. Do I need to develop a pneumatic to figure that one out? No, his stinky breath guy is called Reekwind. Alright. Well, I guess that works. Once again, you become conscious of his reeking breath and the smell of urine and feces that surrounds him. A given name. A given name. Is that your real name? Not my true name. True name. Reekwind mumbles on, his head twitching every time he says name. A true name's a dangerous thing. Gives others power. He stares at you with huge eyes and wags his finger. Keep your name secret. Keep it close. Never let it out. What do you mean? Names are like smells. Things can track you with them. Reekwind coughs, his eyes almost popping out of his skull as he does so. His cough seems to loosen his bowels, for he breaks wind loudly, as if to accentuate his point. If someone knows a true name, it gives them power. He licks his lips. The power to hurt. I don't know my true name.
Updated my journal.
Reekwind's eyes widen. Seeing his eyeballs bulge even larger makes you uneasy. Then you are blessed. Blessed. Remain nameless, and you shall be a spirit on the plains. Untraceable, untrackable, unseen, undiscovered. He smacks his gums wetly. A name chosen, a name given. It allows others to find you and hurt you. Have you been hurt? Reekwind gives a twitching nod, then scratches himself. Let my name slip once. Once. Only once. Only once. His eyes film over as if the memory is painful, then glances at you uneasily. Tell you the story I can. I will, but 3 coppers must I see. His face splits into a smile as he says the word coppers, and his reeking breath hits you like a hammer. Very well. Here's 3 copper. Reekwind gets into a stance, looks left, looks right, then faces you. His face clenches, then with a grunt he breaks wind again. The smell nearly levels you, but he takes no notice. Cursed! I walked the wards in splendor. He stands up stiffly, nose high in the air. He saunters back and forth, nodding to invisible passers-by.
Updated my journal.
Reekwind freezes, his arms akimbo. Crossed paths with the crossed one. Had the looking of a pumpkin, his seeds. Curses. Reekwind then thrusts his belly out so as to appear fat, slicks back his hair with his filthy palm so that he looks almost bald, and begins drumming his fingers on his fat belly. He then walks about, circling the spot where his stuffy, upper-class persona used to be. All a jumble with curses. This one was. With a sneer and a careless gesture, Reekwind tosses an invisible curse at the stuffy persona. Knew my name. Let it slip I had. All it took it all. He stiffens up again, inhaling deeply and resuming his upper-class persona. The persona suddenly crumples, and Reekwind breaks wind violently, then exhales, filling the air with a foul, reeking breath. Cursed with stenches, smells, excrement, came here to tell tales. All good for now. Now Reekwind is the name, given name. Given name. I see. Questions, questions. Reekwind hunches over, regarding you warily with his huge eyes. Answers. Answers? So he definitely likes telling stories and has a thing for it. Like, he like sits there and performs and everything, and he makes a whole show of it. Things don't go well for him. I'd like to hear a story. Tell you a story I can. I will, but 3 coppers must I see. Very well. He takes the copper, gums it, then to your surprise, he swallows it. Best purse there is. Belly, belly. He gives you a reeking wheeze. A story. A story. He smacks his lips, scratching his dirty rags. I want to hear the story of the man who came to this city without a name or memory and spoke with the cursed storyteller who warned him of the danger of names. Reekwind stops twitching and scratching for a moment and stares at you. That tale costs nothing, for it is worth nothing, and it is worth nothing that it would be sad, and it is worth noting that it would be a sad tale indeed. Nevertheless, I would hear it. Where would such a tale begin? Reekwind grunts, then gives a reeking wheeze that makes your eyes tear up. He seems to be thinking. It would begin with a man waking up in the mortuary, believed dead, but in truth, only his memories are dead. Reekwind nods, then studies you and starts scratching himself violently as if to give himself scars. Dead, but not dead. No memories, no memories, no name. He escapes the mortuary, enters the hive, and speaks to a man who let his true name slip once and has regretted it. Reekwind seems hypnotized by your words. Yes, much danger in naming, perhaps. He pauses. Perhaps the man to whom the Nameless One speaks is a warning to the danger of names. He seems to chew it over. Perhaps he, who has forgotten his name, is better off. Is he? Is it better to suffer the truth, with all its consequences, or is it better to remain ignorant? Which of the 2 men is better off? Reekwind gives a hacking cough, then spits, the spittle green and wet. Then he turns back to you. It is your question, your tale. He speaks slowly. It is you who must answer it. I want to hear your answer. Reekwind shakes his head. My answer. He coughs again, belching forth another wave of fumes. He smacks his lips as if trying to drive the taste from his mouth. My answer is this. They are both fools, but only one knows himself a fool. Wait for him to choose a story. We haven't heard him just tell one of his own yet. Spireward. He points to his left, at the charred alley in the distance. An alley of dangerous angles. He bends his limbs in a twisted parody of one of the skeletal buildings. Not always angled, not always burned, and charred. Once alive, no longer. Flames! Fire! He flings his hands up in the air, then waves them to simulate flames. The alley burned. Great smoke, ash, everywhere. In the end, only skeletons of buildings left. Bones of dead things. Bones of dead buildings. Angles everywhere. Angles.
Updated my journal.
He hunches forward, his voice a whisper. Again, the stench from his body hits you like a wave. Dangerous now. Bad men have set up their kip there. He bows, then breaks wind in quick spurts, like a bugle blowing. That is the tale of how a street becomes an alley of dangerous angles. Burned alley, now full dangerous men. How did the fire start? He makes a semicircle over his heart. A man made it so. A beast made it so. A man whom even fiends admire. Who? A sorcerer's tale, filled with madness, sadness, burning, yearning. A tale I can tell. A tale I can tell. I will. But 3 coppers must I see. A dangerous tale. A dangerous tale. He hisses, then cackles in a way that reminds you of a fire burning. I was planning on skipping ahead a little bit, but then I realized it was actually new writing. A sorcerer there was. No simple hedge wizard this, but a mage of power. Reekwind brings his hands together reverently, then smiles evilly. He burned with the art, and the art burned him. The name given him was Ignis, a name respected, then feared, then hated, then punished. Reekwind gives a rattling wheeze, then claws at the air and hisses, apparently imitating Ignis. Taught by one of the last great magi, Ignis was. And as an apprentice, Ignis learned much, and nothing at the same time. Reekwind shakes his head sadly. In his heart, his coal-black heart, a fire blazed. It burned, and it hungered. Reekwind claws at his chest as if in pain. As it hungered, Ignis hungered. It was his wish to see the plains burn. In the night, Reekwind hunches down and begins to slowly stalk in the direction of the alley. A mad grin on his face, Ignis came to the alley that was to be the alley of angles, and the fire in his eyes, the fire in his heart, both he let out. Reekwind points at the alley, then flings his arms in the air, silently screaming and laughing at the same time. Flesh ran like wax, people like candles, and Ignis laughed. Reekwind crumples to the ground, his body racked with imagined pain. An evil was done, and forgotten not. He stands up, then hunches over, looks left, looks right, then stumbles, then starts mumbling as if secretly in a conference with someone. Something was to be done. He stands up stiffly, his face resolute. A punishment was decided. All the hedge wizards, midwives, rune tellers, copper pinching witches, all manner of magelings they came. All, even those with the smallest trace of the art, to punish Ignis. Separately, they were flies. He makes a buzzing noise between his rotten gums. Together, dangerous. He hums, then raises his hands. Caught Ignis. Granted his wish. He swirls his hands as if casting a spell. He wished to burn. They granted it. Using his own desire to fuel the casting, they made his body a door to the plane of fire. They intended to kill him.
Updated my journal.
Failed. Reekwind breaks wind again as if to accentuate the failure of the wizards. Ignis lived, only slept. Blanket of flames, flames, turned in his sleep as he burned. Never happier, never happier. He shuts his eyes, wraps his arms around himself, and turns slowly. Burning, ever burning. His eyes suddenly snap open. One day he will wake. One day he will wake, and then the plains shall burn. An unfortunate tale. Having a character named Ignis that goes on to be lit on fire is like having a character named Remus Lupin that turns out to be a werewolf later. Like, was not born one, but was named Wolfman Werewolf. Like, Ignis is just so close to in name. It's like, it feels like everyone's named by whatever came to mind at the moment, which fits because a lot of them are literally named after their descriptions. But it's just funny that a character like that was named Ignis. It's like the other character being named, oh man. Oh yeah, Ingress. The person looking around for doors and whatnot was named Ingress. I'm like, huh? Really? But that might have been a given name too. Can you tell me about this area? The hive. The hive. A tale I can tell. A tale I can tell. I will, but 3 coppers. Dangerous angles. Oh, that's the same. Okay. I just spent 3 coppers to get the same story again. Womp womp. Hi, I see you. Get murdered, loser. I'm attacked a lot. I'm so unpopular. Well, it's gonna fund paying for all these old people and making them happy, I guess. I said that before, but still. It's getting really funny. I think, I was kind of primed for the idea that Planescape's like a no-combat game, to some extent. Like, not as much as Disco Elysium, where that's literally a no-combat game. But people have talked about us being watched. People talk about how little combat you have to do in these games, and I guess it's probably possible, but you'd have to like actively avoid some of these things that are just coming after me all the time. This bench looks like it's ready to collapse. These barrels are empty. The hoops binding the wood are almost completely rusted through. All right. Are you still up here? He ran away. So they sometimes seem to leave the zone, the survivors, and don't just like stick around staring at me. Y'all aren't even successfully lowering my health this time. You guys need to step it up. Cringe. You're all cringe. Deeply cringe. Embarrassing, frankly. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, wow. Yeah, people were mentioning that my level went down. I guess when you change classes, your level starts over. And, yeah, previously it was going to take me like 16,000 to level up. Now it's down to like taking like 5,000. Like, it's way down there. So level 4 is expensive, if I remember correctly. Or level 5 might have been the next one. These things are called lim-lims. There's Rafira, Gauha, and Craddock. Seems to be an armored skeleton. This place is really just dense with people. You see a huge man, watching the area with a tight-lipped frown and narrowed eyes. Does he have a face? Maybe he does. I guess the texture going on here made me think that he had ribs out, which made me think that he must be a skull, and just, you know, just a skeleton wearing armor. Maybe not. He is hunched slightly, as if bearing a heavy load on his shoulders. The unpleasant smell of sweat and dirt wafts from his clothes. Greetings. The man glances down at you, and his frown deepens. Aye. What are you sniffing around here for? You Craddock? Mayhap. He studies your face as if trying to recall you. If I am, what be it to you? I come with a message from Bane the Sender. The message states, The shipment must be incursed by 3rd day, or there will be a penalty. By the hells. Can they be such fools that they think we can miracle it there? Alright then. Your message has found its way to the right ears for all the good it will do. What's the problem? Look at you. Craddock nods at the laborer. Look around you. Craddock nods at the laborers in the marketplace, then scowls. These laggards and half-wits can barely keep up with the loads as it stands, and now it needs doing in half the time. Do you need any help? I'll tell you what I need. All my men to show up for work. Jaheli's gone missing since this morn, and I need him back now. Jaheli? Where did he go? That hive-bred goat is probably passed out on the street somewhere by the smoldering corpse, when he should be here helping us. Worthless sod. I could go find him for you. Oh, you could you? Craddock squints at you. And now why would you do that? You need help, don't you? It doesn't sound like you can spare the time to go looking for him, and there's work to be done. Craddock is silent for a moment, then nods. You find Jahele, you tell him to drag his worthless, bub-ridden hide here. I'll pay you for your trouble. He frowns. When you found him. Now get. You said he's likely by the smoldering corpse. Where's that?
Updated my journal.
It's south and east of here. Head through the southeast gate, then head east for about a block. It's got a mess of drunks outside, you can't miss it. Jahele's most like somewhere around there. Alright, I'll go look for him. Farewell.
Can't afford to get caught off guard, Cutter. We sell only top of the line.
You see Craddock. His scowl has deepened since when you first saw him. It looks like it's about to crack his face in two. We'll leave him in peace. I thought there might be more to talk to him about. I kind of went straight to that time. Gauha. An elf, I think? You see a thin, yellow-skinned humanoid creature with a variety of dazzling tattoos. His eyebrows have been accented with black charcoal lines, and his teeth are filed to points. He sees you and waves you over, rattling his dice in his hand. Greetings. He displays a feral, shark-toothed grin. His eyes are like shiny black orbs. His voice is low and raspy. Gauha greets you as well. You have come to play a game, yes? Yes, I'll play. Gauha reaches into his tunic and pulls out a coin. This coin? Your coin. He places it in your hand, then pulls out another. This coin? Gauha's. He places it at his own feet, then holds up 2 dice between his thumb and index finger. The dice. We both roll one, yes? Go on. You roll higher. Both coins. He snatches the coin up from the ground and proffers them to you. Yours. Gauha rolls higher. He quickly tucks the coppers back into his tunic. Mine. Neither rolls higher. The coin stays for another roll. So, how much coin will lie at your feet? 5 copper commons. You both roll the dice until Gauha rolls higher. He snatches up your coins, tucking them into his tunic. He seems to hesitate a moment, then speaks. Again, yes? Wait, is something wrong? Gauha regards you closely for a moment, then nods. Never do I indulge in Hashma's folly. Never do I cheat, human. But I see fortune, read it, know it in the face of a man. However, in you I see nothing. I know nothing. You have no luck, no fortune, neither good nor ill. Or you make your own, perhaps, I do not know. He places his dice back into his tunic. We might play later, perhaps, but no more this moment. Alright, farewell. That's interesting. So he doesn't cheat, but he has an edge on whether or not people are likely to win or lose on somehow. Like he can tell. And he just doesn't work on us. Some element of us being undead or back from the dead or some other thing. Galha flashes you his disturbing, sharp-toothed grin. Eager to play you are, yes, but you return too soon. Return later, and we might play again. Rafira. This grim-looking woman spares you only a brief glance before returning to her rant at the top of the stage. I guess this is a stage. She has a powerful voice that carries across the marketplace, even cutting through the noise made by the merchants and the surrounding foot traffic. Rafira, is she prophetic? Since everyone's name is basically who they are. Person really wants me to try their spices. They sounded horny for spices. I already had spices, they were on my ratsies. There's still some more. So these people definitely look like they're in combat poses, right? It's kind of strange. Oh, hello. Somebody has chosen death.
Damn.
Get stabbed, loser. Oh, apparently you're hostile, so let's just get this out of the way. Oop. He was less capable of running away. Well. Stocking up on heals a bit. Not heals, money. Is the music gonna calm down? We had Giskorl and Kosajai. A lot of old ladies around. This toothless old crone reeks of fish and brine. Spying your approach, she gives you a wide pink smile. Fish? My child? Fish heads mayhap? Child? Hardly. Oh, yes, yes, but a child you are, to my years. Youngsters. I believe you're mistaken. Take a closer look. She shuffles up to you. The fish stink is nearly overpowering. Yeah, my headphones are all bound up and it's driving me crazy. There we go. So it was curled up and the cord wasn't straight. It was driving me crazy. The old woman squints at you face first, frowning, and then into your eyes. Only then does she recoil in surprise. Oh my! How many years have those eyes seen? I do not know. How many do you think? Don't know, don't know. Too many, I'd say, but no matter. She leans close to whisper in your ear. It won't do to rattle the passers-by. Let's keep it our little secret. She resumes her normal tone of voice. So, fish, my child? She pokes you in the belly. Really goofy. I like how I'm being completely honest constantly and just advertising to everyone that I'm some kind of immortal being come back from the dead. And because I was specifically warned not to. But it's just interesting seeing the reactions. She's like, yep, not gonna step in this mess. What are you offering exactly? Why, fish, my silly child, fish of all sorts. And fish heads, for those too short on jink for the whole ones. Teeny tiny fish heads, hee hee. Where do the fish come from? They're brought to Sigil from all over the plains, my boy. Would you like some? I said only the heads, should you be short on jink. I don't need fish, but I had some questions. She shakes her little head. Her little wrinkled head. No answers have I. Only fish. I've no need for fish, or their heads for that matter. Farewell. You can't actually buy them. It's just not an option. That's all she'll talk about. And one person's just really into spices. It's just starting to trip me up. You see a spindly-looking merchant with a brush of gray and red stubble across his chin. He wears several layers of brightly colored robes, so much so that he looks like a flag with arms and legs. He is shaking slightly as you approach. Greetings. I, Giscorl. He bows and spreads his trembling hands. As he does, you notice his hands and forearms are a twisted mass of black scar tissue, as if they were once badly burned. How did you hurt your hands? Giscorl doesn't seem to have heard you. He answers only with a spiel, delivered in the same flat monotone. Giscorl buy cloth, sell cloth, wash cloth, mend cloth, and, he gestures at his layers of clothing with his shaking hands, wear cloth. I asked, how did you hurt your hands? Giscorl's monotone breaks. Giscorl buy cloth, sell cloth, wash cloth, mend cloth, and... He gestures at himself again, but his hands are shaking so badly he cannot even finish. Never mind. Can I see what you have? Rags, bandages, needle and thread. That's it. Either he's... Nope. He will not buy rings. Either he's utterly terrified about something, or is it... And and he will not get into this. Or he's under some kind of curse where he just can't talk about anything else, or can't talk about that, or... He's just real nervous. He's just trying. His first day working at Best Buy, and we're going off script immediately, and he's freaking out about it. So many discrete possibilities. The alley of dangerous angles. I was stuck on terrain. Oh yeah, this lady. Looks so much bigger on the outside.
I'm gone.
Can I go in the alley of dangerous angles? I've already been attacked here. I'm going all the way in. I'm a madman. Thought you could run away from me, did you? I'm a dangerous man. Why isn't the WSD working anymore? None of my buttons for looking around are working. Greetings. Farewell. Nope. These guys literally attack you for talking to them. Ow! Ow! I took damage. Rude.
Come in, Basher. Look here, the finest Toledo
Oh.
play.
Hello, friends. Razor Angel. This alley dweller greets you with exaggerated politeness and a deep bow. Greetings, stranger. You've chosen a, auspicious day to pass through our lands. The toll will be a mere 10 coins. I've already paid that. No, you haven't. This is the last warning you'll get. 10 coins or the cold earth. Here then, take the money. You have the thanks of the Razor Angels. Go in peace, traveler. Thanks, Burke. Farewell. Isn't that an insulting word? Whoa. Are you okay, Planescape? Planescape Torment Enhanced Edition is not responding. Let's go ahead and unrespond it to hell and launch another Planescape Torment. Won't that be exciting? Yep, I'm only like 1 minute ago anyway. Alright, well now I'm curious. What's up, Planescape? Hey, my WSD works again. I wonder if it was tied to the fact that WASD wasn't working? Like something was just broken?
I'm gone.
Maybe the game was mad I tabbed out of it a while ago or something? Who knows? It wouldn't hurt to explore this place a little bit and have it... Nothing else have the map filled in. It seems like a whole... Like it's essentially a whole ass dungeon of people to fight through, if that's what you want to do. There's a wooden structure made from burnt shingles and cast-off roofing materials.
Done.
Jagged knife, 1-3 slashing. So all we needed was junk in order to continue, which is kind of interesting because I could have just had that the whole time. I wonder if anyone will notice that I took this. I remember having junk earlier, so that portal would have just opened up for me because I had junk earlier. But there, so it's like a little moment of like acknowledgement of like, hey, are you somebody who would normally run around with that stuff all the time, or what? What's the point of paying this toll if I get attacked on the way through? You punks? Alright, let's fucking go. I think I still have 0 interesting, like, thieving skills. I do have stealth mode. That's about it. I'm gonna die. Or not. Didn't exactly make a lot there. Add that to my quick bar. Better. Feeling a bit ripped off right about now, guys. What was I even paying for? This is all that remains of a sedan chair. There are still some bloodstains. What is a sedan chair?
Hey.
I mean, the word sedan refers to,
Casual. What's up?
Let's actually have you attack first.
Yeah?
Here, get its attention.
Huh?
I don't think it's working. I think it's just still gonna attack me. Oh. He went down quick.
All right.
That can't be worth it. Still not ready to level. Okay.
You see that?
Well, I'm getting better at winning, it seems. These people are starting to go down fast.
Damn it.
It's like a big bite animation. So I take it I'm just relatively tough. Because boy, these people are going down pretty quickly, and I basically was born today. From my perspective. Chronologically, I think he spent the majority of his life so far with his current memories listening to that one guy tell a story for 8 hours. Even if it was like a cutaway gag. I'm gonna have a lot of rings to sell when I get back to that lady. If she'll have me. What's inside here? More people that will attack me? Mage in training? Wait, what is this place? This is not what I thought I was walking my way into. You see a young man dressed in plain but well-kept clothes. He pauses in his pacing as you approach. Greetings. Rauk, in trouble. Big. Help you do? What's wrong? Rauk forgets rings in tent. Friends need to magic with. No rings, be mad at Rauk. One ring brown like Jink. Other shiny like mirror. Last is pretty and yellow. Bring to Rauk? I'll bring them back for you, Rauk.
Updated my journal.
What? Oh, that's a lot of quests. Where's Rauk in this mess? Poor Reekwind has a curse. So gold, silver, and bronze. Rauk seems to have a simple mind, so it's probably close by. That's not very nice.
I'm gone.
I have some rings, but I guess they're not the right rings. I'm like, I probably have those types of rings in metal, at least, if not the ones that are actually magical or whatever. Please attack.
Done.
I'm sorry, did every single enemy respawn when I went indoors? Is there a way to put stuff directly on my partner's inventory?
I'm hurt.
It's having to manually switch them all to my inventory is kind of annoying.
Damn.
Right, I could use a way to loot them directly to a different inventory. You know, I'm starting to feel a tad endangered.
What?
Done.
Be nice if these rings and bracelets and stuff stacked a little bit. Okay, guys.
I'm hurt.
Ow. Well, congrats, I guess you've successfully started to actually do damage to me. We're still not there. Over 100 more to go still.
Done.
Oh. Rotten William. Why is Rotten William attacking me?
I'm hurt.
Why can't we be best friends? Ow. Was Rotten William a mini boss? What's going on here? Wow, he had money.
Done.
What am I even to do with these way too many rings? Wait, 200 still wasn't that enough? Oh, it must be shared.
What's up, Chief?
Oh, you then. You're on your way to 8K.
Sure, why not?
Done.
All of them coming at me at once is a bit much. Let's try thieving skills. Lockpick failed. What's the green text? Oh, that's me getting healed by one. It might be a one-off check and not a thing that keeps getting checked again. You seem to have startled her. She abruptly stops rummaging through the tent and stares at you nervously. Greetings. I wasn't doing nothing, I swears it. Why don't you tell me what you weren't doing? She looks at you as if about to tell you something, and then she quickly dashes for the door. Stop. Welp.
Done.
It appears to be the silver ring. Feel bad. I feel like I shouldn't put certain quest items in the other inventory, but I don't know. Silver ring, bronze ring, gold ring. That might be enough for what he wanted. I found the other ones on my own via killing and whatnot, but you know, what happens. She just booked it. Maybe she has the other two already and ran away. Did you bring? Yes. I got all the rings. Here. You new friend to Rauk now. Rauk take rings now. Rauk thanks new friend. Farewell, Rauk.
Updated my feel stronger.
Masters, Rauk has the rings. Then let us begin. Abracadabra. Oops, brah. Abracadabra. Wow. Look at them go. We did it. Watch out, it's attacking. Oh, they're all dying. Wow, they just murdered the fuck out of themselves. Lim. They summoned a Lim and they all died. Well, that didn't work out at all. 20 thief skill points attained. 1 hit point gained. That's not a lot of hit points. Why not? You see what appears to be an ordinary Lim. It's hard to believe this cute little creature slaughtered 5 wizard apprentices with such ease. They must have been just huge nerds, just massive losers. Cringe, frankly. Embarrassing. Rauk lose friends, but Rauk make new friend. Call him Green Thing. Farewell. Oh. Wow, your friends were loaded. I'm gonna run out of inventory, aren't I? Yep. Okay, well, I found worker 42, so I don't need to look for that one anymore. Why is this one a red? Alright, this is the one that I couldn't solve, so I don't want to throw it away.
gone.
Now the clot charms don't automatically stack with the other clot charms. A gaudy ring. Do you have room for one more? I take it this is one I can't identify. Yep, that one's a problem for later. I can figure out what it's worth or what it does. 2 to 5 green steel dagger. Green steel knife. Speed 1, 1 to 4. Speed 1, 2 to 5. There we go. These don't seem like they're going to be super useful. Oh, they do have crushing damage. That does more crushing damage, though. Well, they have different speeds, so it's hard to say what, like, DPS is. This one's slow. And 2 to 4 is consistent. These are piercing. This one's not very interesting. Apparently it might be valuable, but I might want to keep this around for damage. If I find something that, if I fight something that it seems to require something blunt. I just don't know what to hold on to in some of these cases. Receiving log. I don't need this log, probably. It's like a recap of what they do, basically. Whereas the stiletto might be worth selling. I could definitely use a chance to empty out this inventory. Might have to go back to the witch before I do anything else. I don't know. It's getting to be a lot. Who knew that a bunch of rings could take up so much space?